This video is going to show you how to install timber architraves around a window. The first thing we're going to do is get our combination square and measure our quirk on a combination square. Your quirk is going to be the distance between the inside edge of your window reveal and the inside edge of the architrave. Normally these are around 5mm, but on this client request I'm doing mine at 15mm. I'm going to use this and I'm going to rule this 15mm measurement on all the corners of the window until they intersect. This intersecting mark will be the short point of where our architraves are going to meet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure the length of our architrave. And to do this, we're not going to hold our tape measure on those pencil lines we just did. Instead, we're going to butt in and measure in between the window reveals and add on our quirk measurement, which is 15mm, so we'll add it on for both sides, meaning 30mm. I also like to add an additional 1mm to that measurement, meaning we'll add 31mm onto that measurement. When we bring our architrave over to our drop saw bench to cut it, we want to make sure we're marking the back of it and marking our short points, which will be on the inside part of our architrave where the angle is going to be. Now, an easy way to mark this is you're going to first mark 100mm on your architrave and then add 100mm to your original measurement and mark that point too. Now you've got two marks and you can cut your 45 degree angles on it. Now I'm going to repeat this process with the exact same measurements, and I'll cut our other vertical architrave. I forgot to mention that we'll start with only cutting the vertical architraves and not the horizontal one. Next thing to do is chuck some PVA glue on the back of your architrave and put it up against your window reveal in place where it needs to go. We're checking our short points that they intersect with these lines that we marked for our quirks. Okay, so I struggled filming this next part, but what you're going to do now is hold your architrave up next to those quirk marks that you ruled. You're going to make sure that it is meeting up with your top ones and bottom quirk marks. And once that's true, you get your gun and you fix the nail on the top of it. Normally when you do MDF architraves or skirts, it doesn't matter too much about your nail placement because it's going to get painted afterwards. If you're using timber, this is the big difference. You will see these nails afterwards. So you want to make sure that you get these nails in the same spots in your architrave and have them neatly spaced as well. I normally don't go through the process of marking out where they're going, but I side it quite well. I might do the first nail 50mm down and then repeat it 50mm up from the bottom, get one midway, and depending on how long the architrave is, I might get a few nails in the middle. It's up to you to see how solid it is. This is also why I like to use a PVA glue behind them so that it holds the architrave in place and you don't need to get an abundant amount of nails. Once your architrave is fixed on at the top, you'll get another nail at the bottom, making sure that your architrave is true with its marks. You can do this next part two different ways. One way, you can get your combination square and hold it against your window reveal and make sure your architrave is the same distance off the whole way up. What I like doing is getting a level up next to my architrave though, making sure the architrave isn't bowed in a straight line, and then you can shoot it off. 99% of the time, your window should be in and it should be straight, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. If your architrave is running out of parallel with your window, there's a problem with your window and you should fix that before continuing. We will repeat the exact same process on the other side and get our nails in the middle once we see that it is all straight. Now you can get your top and bottom architrave measurements. You can do it this way just by butting into the existing short point architraves and measuring across and getting your exact measurement. You don't have to add anything or do anything to these ones. Cut them exactly with what that measurement is, the exact same way you cut the other ones. As I was preparing to install my top and lower architraves, I came across a problem where the plaster stuck out further than my window reveal. What I can do here is just get my hammer and hit the plaster, only hitting where the architrave is going to cover up, and bend that plaster down so it is the same thickness as the window reveal. Now we're going to glue up our architrave again, and this time we're also going to glue the joins where it's going to be batting in on the 45s to our existing architraves. Before you shoot this off, just make sure both sides are completely flush and fit nicely with the architraves on either side. Once that's the case, you can repeat the same process of nailing both sides of your architrave, putting your level up underneath it to make sure it's straight, and then you can nail it off. Now with everything nailed off and in place, I'm just going to get a few more nails in our corners, really securing the architrave to the plaster and making sure that our miters don't move out at all. One last thing you can do is get some brown putty and fill in your nail holes so they are not as noticeable as what they are right now. Other than that, there you have it, you are done.